Hello everyone and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Thursday, June the 28th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. If you have any questions for me, you can use this email address right here. This is a link to get into our free trading room. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our free room. This is a subscription link. You'll see in the body of this email what the promo code is. It's all in caps, Barry for Alpha, all in caps. That'll get you an instant 15% off either the first month of a monthly subscription or the entire year of an annual subscription. I open the room at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and I go to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and 3 o'clock on Fridays. So, one moment please. Let me just get rid of that Slack. Give me a second here. Okay. So, as some of you may know, I was on vacation to Portugal. Got back yesterday. Had a great time, but raring, sort of easing back into the trading. I did one trade yesterday, a couple more today. So, just kind of easing back into it. One really nice trade today for a lot of us in the room, and it was kind of based on the PED action of yesterday. So what I noticed in the pre-market, well, first of all, if you weren't in the room yesterday, I mean, this was just an astonishing move. This is a stock that was, sitting at 38 cents in the pre-market. There was no inkling whatsoever that this was going to happen. So there it is at 38 cents, and my goodness, it gets as high as $2.80. Just an astonishing percentage increase. I did trade this right around here. I did get out of it, by the end of the day. And it's funny, I watched this in this move area here is the after hours action, and I was going to take some right there, but unfortunately I'd already closed down my brokerage platform, and by the time I loaded it again, because it takes a little bit of time, if you have IB, they run you through a couple of passwords and all that, but anyway, by the time it loaded, it had already done this, so I kind of missed that. However, I was watching it in the pre-market, and a little disappointed in the fact that it had this pullback, then it gapped, and then it just really gave it up. This was my, I was saying in the room that if it got to this level here, which is basically taking out the pre-market and the market, the highs of the market, I would take the trade. It just never triggered. That's the blue line. That was where my price alert was. Had the line turned green, I more than likely would have been in this. That's what I said, though. I wait for my trigger. It didn't happen, and just move on. Now, I should have said, I did take this one in the pre-market right about here, just under 4, and I sold it up in this area and then on the way down. I actually did another trade in the pre-market that didn't work out, and that was CEI, and I think I got in here right about here, 80 odd, and I sold in the high 70s. It didn't work out. Now, one of the things we had noticed is that there were so many like this, CEI, HUSA, GBR, these are all little energy plays. And this one was actually this was one I really thought might rip, because there's really no resistance for any of them. And I think a lot of people were probably saying, well, heck, I missed the PED yesterday. I'd like to be able to find what today's PED is going to be. And again, they're all in the same sector. So there were so many of them. I have a list of them. Yuma was another one. Now, most of them did not pan out. They did not do, of course, what a PED did. But just look at the pre-market action. I mean, there's a stock at 41 cents. It's a high of 116. This is 41 cents yesterday. It's a high of 116 in the pre-market. But most of them did this, just kind of faded. However, CEI actually gave me a nice reward. So, after being stopped out in the pre-market, I watched this one very closely, and of course, once it popped over $1, I'd said to people, well, I'm sorry, I got into this one. That's right, I typically don't do that. I was waiting for a break. I sort of broke my rule, I suppose. There's that pre-market high of 84 cents, but I just thought, you know what, I'm going to take this one, and I got into this at 82 cents right here. And then it just absolutely exploded. Got all the way up to $1.31. Didn't quite sell at the high. I sold at $1.20, and then on the way down at $1.15. Okay. Then notice how it just broke down below $1 just briefly, and then it surged up again. And so I ended up taking this trade right just about the high here. I took it again at 132. Oops. The mark right here. Took it again at 132. And man, look what it did. It went all the way up to 180. Again, I love to say I held everything at from 132 and I sold at 180. Not really, but still, these were very quick trades. I got out on the way up at $1.65. $1.59, and on the way down at $1.58. So very, very, very nice trade for CEI. When you look at the percentage increase that we're talking about, dollar stocks that go, up 30 or 40 cents, that's just tremendous, tremendous percentage increase. And also incredibly liquid. I mean, the stock right now is traded 66 million shares, 103 times normal. So there's no problem getting a bunch and getting out a bunch. Really, there isn't. It's and again, it's the power of the low float. This stock only has 2.5 million in the float. What does that mean? Well, the float basically is the supply of the stock. How many shares, in theory, are available for trading on any given day? That's when you take the number of shares outstanding, subtract what any insiders own. So you're down to, in this one, 2.5 million shares for whatever reason. And I know they some kind of a letter of intent was signed, maybe I think 2 days ago after the market closed. Anyway, so there was kind of some news on it, but that's what can happen when you have a low float situation and the stock gets in demand. Low float, high demand. This is what can happen. And let's see, I am in this one still. This was, I don't want to call this a boredom trade, but I looked at this one. I have to look at the daily on it to see why I was even interested at all. And you can see, that this one had some tremendous movement way back, not way back here, it's only May the 17th. And had the big pop from the 4 level, got all the way up to the 767, pulled back, got all the way back up here. So why I saw this one is I had this one thumbnailed on one of my monitors. So I had this little thumbnail chart of it, and that's typically what I do when I see things starting to slow down. I wasn't getting very many alerts from the rest of my windows. So that's when I start to concentrate on some of the thumbnail charts that I had. So I noticed that this one, back to the 15-minute chart, I noticed that this one was holding its own just over 8, and looks like it was maybe trying to get through this 810 level. So anyway, when it did, I basically said to the room I wouldn't mind taking this if we could get a bid of 811 or 812. I actually ended up taking this at 812, right about here. And I had said I was really just looking at a scalp. I sold some at 827. Great. I think the bid was, or the ask was at 828. But I was able to sell some at 827. I still have some. See what happens. But I do anticipate a lot of resistance right in this area. But as I said, I went into this one thinking if I could get 20 cents, that would be great. And that really is about it. Again, I'm just kind of easing back into the trading. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a little more adventuresome, but right now I'm just kind of easing back into the trading. So I'll shut this down. And again, if you have any questions for me, you can use this email address. This is the link to get into our free room. There are truly no strings attached. We don't ask for a credit card or anything. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas. We welcome everybody into our trading room. You will see we've got some tremendous traders in the room. What I do, of course, I do trade my own account, but it's not about my telling you what to buy or sell all day long. If I'm going to get into something, I usually am talking about it. But also what I try to do is either if you don't have Trade Ideas, try to explain what the program is all about. But if you do have Trade Ideas, you can ask me questions about, well, Barry, how would you do this? How would I do that? Things like that. So it's both also trading and information. And there's a link for a subscription to Trade Ideas. Again, you'll see in the body of this email, you'll see the promo code. I will open the room tomorrow. Find my capture program. Excuse me, I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So I hope to see you in our trading room tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.